Here is Immortal Moments for explanation. Friends, like videos and subscribes to our channel. Swallowed Star 2 Land of Origin Part 15 Explanation. So let's start our explanation. As long as Brother Luo he is willing to drink, I am always ready to accompany him. Do you laughed heartily? It is truly prestigious to be able to drink with Brother Luo he nowadays. Although the acts Luo Feng had committed were ones that the eternal true gods within Huyang City dared not undertake due to the backing forces they had to consider. It didn't affect everyone's admiration. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Luo Feng, unconcerned about what he had just done, pulled Zhiyu back to the original hall. Morosa and Moyu Qingyang followed behind. He. Morosa laughed as he walked, feeling very happy. Lord Luo sir, the master has done such a huge thing, yet you laugh. Moyu Qingyang couldn't help but transmit his voice. The 5 great families probably won't let this go. And so what if they don't let it go? Morosa looked at Moyu Qingyang. Moyu Qingyang's expression was solemn as he transmitted his voice. There may be a storm of blood and gore. It will be their blood and gore. Morosa stretched out his hand and ruffled Moyu Qingyang's head, smiling happily as he transmitted his voice. You'll understand in time, my boy. Their blood and gore. Moyu Qingyang followed behind, deep in thought. As Luo Feng returned to the hall to continue drinking, other guests within the Dream Flower Tower grew completely restless. They were either fervently discussing or quickly leaving to report back to their own forces in detail. Meanwhile, the thousands of true gods of void space from the Huyang guards discreetly took their leave. The incidents at the Dream Flower Tower spread rapidly within Huyang City, fermenting. In that hall of the Dream Flower Tower, Luo Feng and Zhiyu sat opposite each other, drinking and chatting with ease and comfort. Brother Luo he, what you did has truly pierced the heavens in Huyang City. Zhiyu exclaimed, the eternal true gods from the 5 great families are like the sky of Huyang City, and you've killed one of them. They certainly won't let this go easily. And what can they do if they don't let it go? Luo Feng said, holding his wine cup lightly with a smile, I am openly in Huyang City, and I would like to see what they can do. Zhiyu could see that Lord Luo he truly wasn't afraid of the 5 great families. I admire that, Zhiyu sighed, my Shu clan wouldn't dare to do such things. You have the concerns of a family, so naturally, you need to be more cautious, Luo Feng said with a smile. I am a lone wanderer, now with just 2 servants by my side. I have no ties and can afford to act freely and boldly. Zhiyu nodded, but Brother Luo he, you must be careful. Even if no one within Huyang City can harm you, they might invite strong forces from other places. I have given the city owner's mansion enough respect. Luo Feng poured himself another drink. Tonight I merely killed the deeply sinful Mei Wu Qi and his accomplice Chen Yu Chong, and I didn't touch the other Huyang guards. Even Purple Jade Gen I let them take away. My actions were quite restrained. Even if the news reaches the ears of the primal chaos overlord, they would have to commend me. Commend you? Zhiyu was taken aback. Luo Feng glanced at him, that you wouldn't understand. The godly kings and primal chaos overlords sit high above, their clans have proliferated over endless years, and the number of clan members is countless. They can't even settle them in their own territories and have to place a large number of clan members in other primal chaos prefectures. For the godly kings and primal chaos overlords, they need the massive resources provided by cities, Luo Feng said. Yes, Zhiyu nodded. The vast cities, the residence fees paid by countless true gods, maintained the operations of the city owner's mansion, Huyang Guards, and Huyang Legion, and the rest was almost entirely delivered to the godly kings and primal chaos overlords. A single true god pays little, but the massive number of cities in the Yu Kingdom deliver much when combined, Luo Feng continued, that's what the godly kings and primal chaos overlords value most, and so they set laws. They ensure sufficient safety within the cities, convincing countless true gods to willingly pay the residence fees. But Mei Wu Qi, who slaughtered millions of the city's citizens, should the godly kings and primal chaos overlords hear of it, they'd be the first to want to kill Mei Wu Qi. Luo Feng shook his head, by killing Mei Wu Qi, the godly kings and primal chaos overlords would only commend me, not even punish me. Any punishment at all, and they would be mocked by other godly kings and primal chaos overlords in the Yu Kingdom. Zhiyu's eyes brightened, Brother Luo, your insight is exceptional, understanding the minds of the godly kings and primal chaos overlords. Indeed, the primal chaos overlords wouldn't intervene in such matters. The clans of the primal chaos overlords are immense. Would the primal chaos overlords intervene in every trivial matter? Are they their subordinates? Luo Feng shook his head. Without a major incident that truly enrages the primal chaos overlords, they will not care. Having the inheritances from both Duandong River and God King Jin, Luo Feng was well aware of some behavioral styles of the godly kings and primal chaos overlords. For those existing at the highest echelons of the land of origin, countless clan members already needed to experience trials and selections. The weak and foolish were weeded out, and only the strong and excellent remained. Luo Feng was right. The primal chaos overlord of the Meiwu clan, even when aware of such incidents occurring in the distant Zhujiang primal chaos prefecture branch of their clan, would verbally commend the killings on his lips. He even sternly demanded that the clan must not commit similar acts again. There are also other places where lone individuals like me reside, Luo Feng said. I consider myself someone who abides by the rules. Yes, I also know that some eternal true gods have passed through cities, killing at will, and the identities of the murderers could not be traced. Jiu nodded. While chatting casually, Luo Feng also diverted his attention to investigate the items left by Mei Wuqi. What concerned him most was the secret treasure, Sinful City. The secret treasure, Sinful City, was indeed personally carried by Mei Wuqi. There are still over 180 million citizens within this sinful city. Luo Feng, with his divine power penetrating, confirmed the number of survivors in an instant, but the scenes within Sinful City made even him shudder. The remaining 180 million citizens, each had endured tremendous torture, many of their spirits were twisted, their auras chaotic and frenzied. Asterisk 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 asterisk. The cave dwellings in the Primal Chaos Armor sector within Huyang City were the most expensive, and the dwellings numbered 1 to 5 were owned by the 5 great families. Primal Chaos Armor number 1 and Primal Chaos Armor number 2 were owned by the 2 royal families. Primal Chaos Armor number 3 cave dwelling was owned by the most powerful Moli clan. Primal Chaos Armor number 4 cave dwelling belonged to the Marquis of Zhujiang clan, with Zhujiang Primal Chaos Prefecture being the Marquis's fief. Even though Huyang City was still managed by the official authorities of Yu Kingdom, the Marquis would demand a large portion of resources and send part of his clan here also to supervise the resources. Primal Chaos Armor number 5 cave dwelling was owned by the Meiwu clan, a prominent Primal Chaos clan in the entire Yu Kingdom, boasting 2 Primal Chaos overlords. The family branch dispatched to Huyang City could also rank among the 5 great families. At this moment, within the large cave dwelling of the Meiwu clan, the family's upper echelon had already gathered. 8 figures sat around. Our Meiwu family branch in Huyang City has 9 eternal true gods altogether, and now only 8 remain, the leading black-haired elder, whose body was sprouting some branches and leaves, said. Mei Wuqi was publicly executed. Luo he simply did not regard our Meiwu family at all. He did not even use a small cosmic domain to cover it up, killing Mei Wuqi in broad daylight in full view. For such an insult to our Meiwu family, he must die, said a high-ranking clan member grimly, eyes full of murderous intent. We should invite an expert from our ancestral land to come and kill this Luo he. They were a branch dispatched here, but in the distant ancestral lands, that's where the core of the Meiwu family lies. Nearly 10,000 eternal true gods, nurtured over endless years, included 2 primal chaos overlords, all resided there. The real elites of the Meiwu family indeed had entities more formidable than Moli Xiao. Fools! We can't let this matter leak to the ancestral land. You came to Huyang City just to revel in pleasures, as foolish as Mei Wuqi. How can we inform the ancestral land about this sort of matter? Several high-ranking clan members immediately rebuked angrily. The leading black-haired elder nodded and said, Mei Wuqi massacred hundreds of millions of citizens within the city. It is an irrefutable heinous crime. God kings and primal chaos overlords have decreed that the safety of the citizens within the cities be ensured. Thus, today's matter must absolutely not be reported. Many things, if not escalated, remain minor issues. If our ancestors knew, each of us would be punished. The 8 senior members of the Meiwu family also understood that they were just a very marginal branch within the entire Meiwu clan. If they angered the elders, they might all be taken away to perform laborious and exhausting tasks, and the pleasure of enjoying life in Huyang City would fall into the hands of other branches of their clan. Publicly, we cannot pursue this matter. But secretly, we must let the entire Huyang City know that whoever dares to slap the face of the 5 great families will pay a price. Find a way to deal with him. Even if we can't kill him, we must force him into a miserable hiding, only lurking in the shadows, never daring to appear openly again. If this matter is not resolved, it's not just our Meiwu family that loses face. In the eyes of all parties in Huyang City, Luo He is seen as slapping the face of the entire 5 great families. The other 4 families must also exert their effort. As they discussed, they were engulfed in rage. After all, they had been high and mighty for too long and could not tolerate an eternal true God defying them like this. Suddenly, the face of the leading black-haired elder changed. "This is bad." "What happened?" asked the other 7 family seniors who were discussing. "Luo He has gone mad," the black-haired elder urgently said. "He has released the surviving hundreds of millions of citizens from Meiwuchi's sinful city and set them free in Huyang City, outside the Dream Flower Tower." "Brother Luo He, after all, the 5 great families rule over the entire Huyang City. They will surely have some countermeasures, so you must be cautious, do you advised?" "I understand," Luo Feng nodded. Zhu smiled and nodded. "Then, I'll take my leave." Immediately thereafter, Zhu and his subordinates rowed a black flying boat and disappeared into the night sky. Luo Feng watched as they departed. "Master, shall we return now?" Morosa asked from the side. "I have one more thing to do." Luo Feng instantly soared into the sky, flying high into the night, a scene that caused both Morosa and Mo Yuqingyang some confusion. Luo Feng flipped his hand, and a miniature city, Sinful City, appeared in his palm. Looking at the densely packed population of over 100 million citizens within the Sinful City, Luo Feng shook his head slightly. He knew his ability to help was limited. These 180 million citizens, having survived torture, many are mentally twisted, chaotic, or insane. Luo Feng looked at the miniature city in his hand. The 5 great families knew of Meiwuchi's evil but have always condoned it, helping to cover up his tracks. These 180 million citizens, each one of them is a living testimony. Luo Feng was well aware that if the population of over 100 million appeared in some wilderness, the 5 great families would probably quietly eliminate them. But if over 100 million citizens were to appear publicly within Huyang City and were discovered by the large population of Huyang City, innumerable people would become aware, making it hard to cover up. The 5 great families would instead have to handle the matter with utmost care, ensuring the situation was dealt with perfectly. Come out, with Sinful City in hand, Luo Feng released the massive population. Whoosh 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 tilde tilde tilde. Countless figures were seen being ejected from the Sinful City, landing in various places around them. The area where the Dream Flower Tower was located happened to be a bustling district within Huyang City. There were also many myriad clans cultivators indulging in the pleasures of the city, and they all saw a large number of figures descending from the night sky. What's happening? These descending true gods seem off. The surrounding myriad clans cultivators could tell at a glance that the true gods falling from the sky had abnormal looks and auras in their eyes. Moreover, the space-time suppression in the land of origin is too strong. True gods are unable to fly on their own, and now with over 100 million true gods descending from the sky, attention was naturally drawn to them. All 180 million citizens landed, scattering over a vast area. Where is this? The over 100 million citizens looked around in bewilderment at the bustling city, so beautiful and peaceful, countless times more so than the sinful city. "I am Luo He, the Meiwuchi whom you deeply despised, I have already killed." A powerful voice spread far and wide, and all 180 million citizens heard it, as did countless myriad clans cultivators in the surrounding vast areas. Meiwuchi tortured and killed hundreds of millions of citizens, leaving only you 180 million survivors. As victims, I believe the city owner's mansion will take care of you and make amends. Luo Feng's voice, empowered by divine power, reached a far too great area. Even tens of billions of myriad clans cultivators in the surrounding districts could hear it clearly. Mei Wuqi is killed? Hundreds of millions of citizens were tortured to death. What happened? True gods from their residences stepped out of their houses, looking towards the source of the voice and also towards that figure in the distant night sky. The figure with black hair and sharp horns was indeed Luo Feng. This figure, remembered firmly by Sinful City's surviving population of over 100 million and the tens of billions of myriad clans cultivators. Something big happened in Huyang City. There was someone named Mei Wuqi who tortured and killed hundreds of millions of cultivators, and the remaining 180 million were saved by Lord Luo He. The ordinary true gods were all stunned, immediately using their transmission tokens to contact their friends and discuss the matter. Tens of billions of cultivators spread the word, and soon the entire Huyang City would be abuzz with the news. Luo Feng watched this scene from the night sky, observing the many survivors who were somewhat insane. City owner's mansion and the 5 great families. When the matter cannot be concealed, let's see how you deal with it, Luo Feng muttered silently. Without the 5 great families' indulgence, Mei Wuqi couldn't have gone this far. Originally, Luo Feng was somewhat inclined towards the city owner's mansion, but because of this incident, Luo Feng felt a disgust towards the 5 great families as well. A bunch of scoundrels. Whoosh! 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 In the night sky, squads of Huyang guards were shuttling through the void, arriving in the blink of an eye, millions of Huyang guards, with even more continuously on their way. Mei Wuqi privately abducted hundreds of millions of citizens from Fangzhou City, tortured many, and was discovered by Lord Luo He and has been executed. All abducted citizens, please rest assured, the city owner's mansion will make amends to each one of you. And the city owner's mansion will also hold the Mei Wu family responsible, announced a leader of Huyang Guard in the high sky, his powerful voice spreading far and wide. The city owner's mansion, which monitors the entire city, had already locked onto every one of the 180 million citizens released by Luo Feng. The Huyang Guards actively went to guide them. The city owner's mansion has already arranged residences for you. Rest assured, you will be able to live in Huyang City from now on, and you will be forever exempt from the residence fee. These Huyang Guards were ordered to act, treating each citizen with utmost care. Forever exempt from the residence fee. The surviving citizens who had lived through it all were somewhat taken aback. Watching this unfold, Luo Feng said, "Let's go, we're heading back." "Alrighty," Morosa's eyes lit up, anticipating the joyful moments to come. Mu Qingyang, who followed behind, was adjusting her emotions. "The master I follow publicly killed a leader of Huyang Guard, Chen Yuchong, and also killed the eternal true god of the 5 great families, Mei Wuqi." The Haiming Legion watched and didn't dare to intervene. And just now, the sinful city's over 100 million true gods were released by the master, and the city owner's mansion pushed the blame onto Mei Wuqi, not faulting the master at all. If he passed the test, he hoped to become a disciple. The apprenticeship opportunity my father sought, but this future master of mine, I find him difficult to read. I only know he is very strong and also compassionate to the weak, thought Mu Qingyang, her admiration for Luo Feng growing even more. Massive numbers of Huyang guards shuttled through the void to arrive, and they were all guiding those sinful city survivors. As one of the 10 leaders of the Huyang Guard, Gao Wushui was naturally present. "I have no way to deal with Mei Wuqi, but Lord Luo He openly killed him, and not even the Haiming Legion dared to stop him." Gao Wushui also felt a great deal of shock at this moment. He realized the importance of strength. With great power, openly killing Mei Wuqi, even the city owner's mansion has to endure it. As a newly promoted eternal true god with weak power, even taking on the position of leader of Huyang Guard, I need my master's help. The joy Gao Wushui had felt at advancing to an eternal true god had already faded. He realized that, while they were both eternal true gods, the disparity between them was shockingly huge. The ones standing at the very pinnacle of Huyang City were his master Mo Li Xiao, the leader of Shi Kingdom's forces, divine monarch Shui Yun, and this Lord Luo He. "I am still very weak, very weak." Gao Wushui turned his head to oversee the Huyang guards working below him. The task of settling the hundreds of millions of citizens from Sinful City was not to be taken lightly. Asterisk 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 asterisk. In a short time, all the major powers within Huyang City knew what had happened. at the very top of Sky Cloud Tower. Chairman Zonyun looked down upon the vast city that was shrouded in clouds and mists, flipped his hand, and took out a transmission token. Divine Monarch Shuiyun, Chairman Zonyun initiated contact with a tone somewhat humbler. On the surface, he was just conducting regular business, not participating in any killings. Therefore, the city owner's mansion could tolerate his existence. After all, as a large border trade city, it naturally had to accommodate many business forces from the neighboring Sha Kingdom. Chairman Zonyun was very clear that in the eyes of the Marquis, his role was not highly valued. It was the super-strong like Divine Monarch Shuiyun who were the Marquis' confidants. Chairman Zonyun, contacting me suddenly, do you have something to say? Divine Monarch Shuiyun responded. I had visited Luo He before, and he paid little attention to me, yet he had quite a few dealings with the city owner's mansion, said Chairman Zonyun, but the incident tonight shows that there has been a rift between Lord Luo He and the city owner's mansion. Divine Monarch Shuiyun transmitted, this Lord Luo He is a loner with no attachments. From his actions, he shows a hatred for evil, acting immediately when provoked. With our way of doing things, he will also view us as enemies. Chairman Zonyun was taken aback. Yes, the forces of Sha Kingdom acted ruthlessly, even more notorious than Mei Wu Qi in causing trouble. Wait patiently for our opportunity, the 5 great families of Huyang won't endure this silently, transmitted Divine Monarch Shuiyun. And from the current intelligence, Lord Luo He is very strong, no less than me. Once they fight, it's likely they will both struggle to handle each other. Lord Luo He, not inferior to you, Divine Monarch Shuiyun. Chairman Zonyun was quite astonished, knowing full well the might of Divine Monarch Shuiyun. In his view, one-on-one, Divine Monarch Shuiyun should be even stronger than Commander Mo Li Xiao. After all, Commander Mo Li Xiao led legions and had the grand formation of Huyang City to bolster his strength. Despite several confrontations, he could not capture Divine Monarch Shuiyun. Yes, he is very powerful. Divine Monarch Shuiyun affirmed, defeating Purple Jade Gen is not difficult, but what's hard to believe is, his hand pierced through the body of Purple Jade Gen. And Purple Jade Gen is a Legion-class mechanical treasure. Mo Li Xiao must have also realized the terrifying aspect of this Lord Luo He. Flame Wind Pavilion. A single hand piercing through the body of Purple Jade Gen, such strong power, the master of the Flame Wind Pavilion looked forward with anticipation. Now, what I'm most looking forward to is the outcome of Ying Cang going against this Lord Luo He. A nearby figure shrouded in grey mist commented admiringly, Ying Cang is renowned, having killed many powerful beings, even offspring of the primal Chaos Overlord, and still lives to this day. His strength is indeed terrifying. This battle will surely be spectacular. The master of the Flame Wind Pavilion shook his head and lamented, it's a pity we can't see the details of this battle. Right now, Flame Wind Pavilion was the only place in the whole of Huyang City that knew Lord Luo He was about to face an assassination. Outside Cave Mansion number 913 of the Primal Chaos Armor, in the night sky, a grey-robed figure was concealed. Ying Cang was waiting there. He went to Dream Flower Tower, but in the end, he must return to the Cave Mansion. The moment he returns to the Cave Mansion is when his guard is down, and it will be the time for me to make my move, Ying Cang murmured to himself. If one was to assassinate Luo Feng, the Flame Wind Pavilion would be commissioned for detailed intelligence. Any movement Luo Feng made, once spotted by Flame Wind Pavilion, would be communicated to Ying Cang. This service was expensive, but Ying Cang did not care. This Luo He is quite compassionate to the weak, turning against the 5 great families of Huyang for the sake of those slaughtered weaklings. Ying Cang read the intel provided by Flame Wind Pavilion and found it amusing. This Luo He and I have different characters. I quietly kill my targets, leaving no trace whatsoever. He, on the other hand, is brazen. He publicly launched his attack in front of the Huyang Legion. One hand pierced through the body of Purple Jade Gen. He is quite strong indeed. I wonder if he can withstand my stealth assassination. Ying Cang was unconcerned. The mechanical flow secret treasures from the Huyang Guard he simply disregarded. He waited patiently. Time was passing, and Ying Cang was very patient. Suddenly, a flying boat descended swiftly from high in the sky toward the cave mansion. As it neared, the door of the mansion opened automatically. His back. Stowing away the flying boat, Luo Feng, Morosa, and Moyu Qingyang flew down together. Primal Chaos Armor Chamber number 913, this was Luo Feng's own mansion. When Luo Feng returned to the mansion, he naturally relaxed considerably. This was a common trait among most living beings, they would relax a lot when they came home. Moreover, his absolute confidence in his own strength made Luo Feng quite at ease. "Luo-sa, follow me," Luo Feng ordered. "Coming." Morosa gleefully followed by Luo Feng's side, while Moyu Qingyang obediently headed toward the small building next to the main gate, as he was to guard the door. At this moment, Luo Feng and Morosa had no inkling of Ying Cang, who was hidden in the sky outside the mansion. Ying Cang, skilled in stealth and assassination, became nearly indistinguishable from the surroundings when he concealed himself, as if he were a part of space itself. Even Luo Feng and Morosa, who were extremely sensitive to aura, did not notice his presence. Luo Feng and Morosa were just about to fly to the underground palace. It was at this precise moment. Luo Feng's expression changed slightly as a figure in a grey robe appeared in front of him as if teleporting. The figure's eyes seemed like endless vortices fixated on Luo Feng, while a shadow of a blade in his hand had already pierced into Luo Feng's body. Indeed, at the instant Luo Feng noticed, the blade had already stabbed into his godly body. Die? The formation around the mansion was like child's play before Ying Cang. After all, the small mansion along with its formation was worth only 500 cosmic sand. This formation could only slightly delay an ordinary eternal true god for a short while, and it could be completely ignored in the face of an existence like Ying Cang. The grand formation of Huyang City is in operation, spatially sealed. Aside from the city owner's mansion's team, other powerhouses can't traverse the void, Luo Feng thought in surprise as the blade pierced his godly body, yet this assassin could forcefully traverse the void. His mastery over spatial realms is probably very high. The spatial seal of Huyang City doesn't mean outsiders can't traverse the void at all, such as the primal chaos overlord who could forcefully do so. This assassin, capable of moving through the void within Huyang City, obviously had significant ability. Where did such a terrifying expert come from? Luo Feng was slightly puzzled. Even if the 5 great families wanted to retaliate, they couldn't find such an expert in a short time. This expert's methods didn't match those of any eternal true god within Huyang City. Die? Ying Cang's murderous intent was biting. After this stab, a phantom sword shadow directly targeted the soul inside Luo Feng's true god's heart, seeking to completely destroy the soul. At the same time, this stab released a terrifying force inside Luo Feng's body, its destructiveness beyond belief. Even with Luo Feng's perfect divine body and having undergone 2 rounds of body refinement, he was still collapsing and annihilated before this horrific force. It was comparable to an ordinary move of a primal chaos realm master. This stab was the culmination of Ying Cang's achievements, targeting both the godly body and the soul. If either defense failed, death was certain. This soul attack isn't very powerful. Star Tower protected the true god's heart, while Luo Feng's spiritual will counteracted the phantom sword shadow ahead of time. His spiritual will, having reached the peak of primal chaos overlord and constantly honed by the great destruction heart refining technique, was not the least bit afraid of external assaults. Boom .. Luo Feng's spiritual will, like an immovable blade, collided with the phantom sword shadow, causing the latter to directly collapse. What strong spiritual will! Ying Cang was inwardly shocked by the collapse of the phantom sword shadow, but, my stab targeted both the soul and the godly body, your godly body will still be annihilated. Usually, even if the soul could resist, it would be affected by the shock, leading to vulnerabilities in the godly body's defense. Even if one didn't die after being stabbed once, Ying Cang's next 2 or 3 stabs would usually suffice. The soul attack is negligible, Luo Feng thought as he felt the stab's destruction of his godly body, but the damage to the godly body is quite severe. This one stab has destroyed about 1/10,000th of my godly body. Luo Feng was still shocked. After all, as a being with a perfect divine body, the reservoir of his divine power was frighteningly vast. To be able to destroy 1/10,000th of his godly body with a single stab was indeed a fearsome attack. After all, I've only recently made the breakthrough to eternal true God, and I haven't even completed 3 rounds of the standard body refining secret technique, Primal Chaos Great Strength Diagram, and my understanding of the Primal Chaos laws is still rather shallow. Faced with this attack, Luo Feng immediately realized his accumulations were still relatively weak. He was merely withstanding it by virtue of his perfect divine body. HMPH. With a single thought from Luo Feng, small cosmic domain descended, and darkness immediately enveloped the area surrounding the mansion. At the same time, Luo Feng stretched out his hand, instantly igniting divine power, and his arm swelled as his palm crushed down with an unmatched might. Whoosh! In the face of this palm, Ying Cang dared not resist, knowing it could penetrate the body of Purple Jade General. He didn't think his own body was as strong as a mechanical flow treasure, so he instantly transformed into a mist, flickering away and avoiding the terrifying palm strike from Luo Feng. Such a peculiar movement technique, Luo Feng remarked as a dazzling set of golden armor appeared on his body, and pairs of resplendent golden wings unfurled. 6 pairs of golden wings spread out from Luo Feng's back. Luo Feng looked at Ying Cang as the forces of heaven and earth condensed into primal chaos currents. Rich and abundant primal chaos power filled every space, also suppressing and constraining Ying Cang. Control primal chaos. Ying Cang appeared not far away. His control of primal chaos is nearly akin to that of a real primal chaos overlord. Under this suppression, I can't even traverse the void. And he was unharmed after being struck by my sword. It could also be that he's pretending to be unharmed. With a few more strikes, he might die. Ying Cang, with his rich experience, was very confident in his killing moves. His sword was a single-entity mechanical treasure, the sword of the world's core, which excelled at condensing divine power to a high intensity. Shaowu wings could also condense and transform divine power, but its formidable strength came from Luo Feng's overpowering perfect divine power. Once condensed and transformed, it could rival the divine power of a primal chaos overlord. Ying Cang's divine power, however, was significantly inferior to Luo Feng's. It was only by relying on the sword of the world's core that he could condense his power to a level nearly on par with the primal chaos overlord's divine power. This sword had only one function, condensing primal chaos divine power, and because of this, it was valued at more than 1 million cosmic sand. As for the killing move he executed just now, it was something Ying Cang had comprehended on his own. It was quite normal for eternal true gods of formidable strength to devise 1 or 2 primal chaos realm moves. Only when they comprehended many moves and accumulated deeper knowledge could they aspire to master the complete primal chaos laws and become a primal chaos overlord. HMPH. Ying Cang turned into a wisp of mist and, in a flash, pressed in on Luo Feng. Luo Feng's Shaowu wings unfolded, controlling the primal chaos to suppress the area around him. Ying Cang was unable to penetrate the void, but his agility and speed in flight were still superior to Luo Feng's. Phut! Ying Cang closed the distance in an instant, with a shadow of his sword striking swiftly. Luo Feng tried to block with his hands, unleashing Shaowu wings that lashed out like wing blades, a power at the eternal true god stage, possibly even stronger than the blood shadow knife. Despite his hands and wings, Luo Feng could not touch Ying Cang. Ying Cang's sword was unpredictable and mysterious, seemingly traversing the void even under the suppression of the primal chaos currents, occasionally leaving a sword mark on Luo Feng's body. Each strike was less powerful than the initial sneak attack move but still destroyed and obliterated vast amounts of Luo Feng's divine power. His accumulated knowledge at the eternal true god stage is too profound, his realm of techniques is higher than mine, Luo Feng thought, relying entirely on his perfect divine body acquired from his second body refinement and burning his divine power, allowing him to crash through. But his techniques were indeed crude. The formidable opponents I've encountered before were all very close to my own realm. After a failed sneak attack, it was hard for me to land additional blows. This Lord Luo his techniques are so rough I can strike freely. To be considered a formidable opponent by him, one generally had to have deep accumulations at the eternal true god stage, and might even comprehend primal chaos realm moves. Luo Feng had only deciphered 3 out of the 6 world-breaking 9 blades moves on the eternal level, indicating that his accumulation was still relatively shallow. Had I known his realm was so weak, I could have killed him straightforwardly, Ying Cang thought. In this brief engagement, He's been struck by my sword 12 times already, his godly body should almost be at its limit. Forget it, fighting you doesn't help my blade technique. Luo Feng suddenly shook his head and sighed. When the skill disparity was too great and one-sided, there was no effect from sharpening one's skills. Luo Feng waved his hand. Boom tilde 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 tilde. A mighty blood-colored river spread out, engulfing the entire cave mansion in an instant, as well as Ying Cang. Luo Feng's second mechanical flow treasure, the Lifeblood River, was obtained from the Blood Python Association leader. Showu Wings and Lifeblood River, as eternal mechanical flow singular treasures, contain primal chaos realm moves. Since his own realm was not sufficient, he might as well wield the primal chaos realm moves inside the mechanical flow treasures. Merely using 1% of his own divine power to control the Lifeblood River, it was already vast and overwhelming, covering Ying Cang and naturally starting to suppress, restrain, erode, and destroy Ying Cang's godly body. Why is the Lifeblood River so powerful? Ying Cang's complexion changed. Under the guidance of Luo Feng's perfect divine power, the mechanical flow treasure in his hands naturally unleashed its formidable might. The controlled primal chaos of Showu Wings and the erosion and destruction of the Lifeblood River doubled down to suppress Ying Cang, who then sensed the threat of death. Not good, I need to get out of here fast. In an instant, Ying Cang deployed his escape mechanical flow treasure. Having taken assassination missions for so long and still being alive, his abilities to save himself were extraordinary. Whoosh! In an instant, Ying Cang transformed into a streak of Liu Guang, tearing through the raging blood river and breaking through the primal chaos obstruction, attempting to escape. What a waste of my time, all for nothing, thought Ying Cang escaping, as he flashed past Morosa and Mo Qingyang, who were trembling in fear at a distance in a small building. Luo, he only has 2 servants, let both the servants die. Ying Cang was always one to kill as he pleased, and his escaping light naturally swept across that small building. Whoosh tilde tilde tilde. Standing at the edge of the small building, Morosa, with a terrified expression, suddenly opened his mouth, which became enormous, spanning half the cave mansion and swallowed the Liu Guang that Ying Cang had become. Get out of here! A roar came from within the mouth as Ying Cang fought back frantically. Gulp! Morosa swallowed hard, completely ingesting it. He grinned at Luo Feng from a distance. Master, he happened to rush right to my mouth. Showu Wings unfolded behind Luo Feng. As he stepped along the rolling blood river and saw this scene, he originally planned to execute the Lai Yuan technique, but upon seeing Morosa's gaping maw, Luo Feng stopped as well. Without the Lai Yuan technique, I'm indeed much weaker than Morosa, Luo Feng acknowledged upon witnessing this scene. I have a perfect divine body, and so does he. But in terms of realm, he is much higher than I am. Just this one swallow. It seems simple, but in reality, it approaches the primal chaos realm. With a surprise attack, even that assassin couldn't escape. Luo Feng was very clear about the strength of the assassin. Under the suppression of controlling primal chaos, even with both hands and the wings employing blade technique, he couldn't touch the assassin. Yet, with just an open mouth and a swallow, Morosa caught the assassin who couldn't dodge. And Morosa's perfect divine body is even more resilient. The assassin's sword could pierce my godly body, but when it reached Morosa's mouth was undamaged. From just this one swallow, Luo Feng saw a lot. Morosa, who possessed the great Tao of Destruction origin, would grow stronger with each swallow, his comprehension of the great Tao of Destruction origin deepening until the moment he fully mastered it. Even with talent like Luo Feng's, he felt the gap between them. Morosa is a perfect life form by nature, while I've cultivated myself into one. As a sector beast, he naturally possesses destruction of the origin, his life essence equivalent to the primordial cosmos. I am somewhat weaker, I need to cultivate and comprehend step by step. Of course, I am his master. Luo Feng revealed a smile. Morosa took only 2 steps to reach Luo Feng's side. Seeing his master's smile, he felt somewhat anxious and quickly said, Master, I didn't go against your orders. The moves I used were all normal ones. I'm not blaming you, Luo Feng said with a smile. When he first arrived at the land of origin, Luo Feng strictly ordered that even if it meant death, Morosa must not reveal his sector beast identity. If exposed, it would attract the attention of the truly terrifying beings of the land of origin, and that would be the end. The power Morosa wielded was normal divine power, and the moves he exhibited were also typical. Naturally, Luo Feng would not blame him. "Is the assassin dead?" Luo Feng asked. "Once I swallowed him into my body, he was dead," Morosa nodded. With an equally perfect divine body, Morosa utilized it more perfectly, unleashing a more terrifying strength. He carried a karmic messenger order. Did he have time to transmit my strength before he died? Morosa suddenly worried. Did he say you're also a powerful eternal true god? Luo Feng shook his head. Don't worry. Even if it's revealed, it's no big deal. Super strong eternal true gods are not rare. Every large city can find a few, and their number across the whole land of origin is even larger. Even if the outside world learns that both master and servant are powerful eternal true gods, it's just a trivial matter. I acted very quickly, and at that time, all he wanted was to survive, struggling with all his might. He died the instant I swallowed him, so he probably didn't have time to transmit a message, Morosa said. These are all his remaining possessions, including the cosmic sand. With a wave of his hand, Morosa made a pile of items appear beside him, including the sword of the world's core from before. This time, unable to withstand the impulse to act, Morosa worried his master would blame him, so he didn't dare to keep any of the spoils of war to himself. If you need anything while following me, just tell me. Luo Feng didn't refuse and accepted all the treasures. After all, Morosa would naturally grow stronger, so being poor wasn't an issue. Luo Feng himself was the one most in need of resources. Only if he became strong enough could he protect this sector beast in the land of origin someday. Then I'll go into seclusion first, to assimilate this, Morosa said. Luo Feng beckoned, collecting Morosa into the Star Tower. Inside one floor of the Star Tower's space. Looking at the corpses of the two eternal true gods, Commander Qin Yuchong and Mei Wuqi, lying before him, Morosa couldn't help but smile. The master also cares a lot about me, purposely preserving the bodies of these eternal true gods. If Luo Feng hadn't deliberately preserved them, their bodies would have long since turned to ash. Luo Feng still maintained his small cosmic domain, enveloping the entire cave mansion. He glanced at the damaged mansion and the scene within the small cosmic domain shifted, rocks and soil consolidating to begin repairing the mansion. Qingyang, you can come out now, Luo Feng called out. As a true god, Qingyang had been hiding in a small building, terrified. Barely touched by that skirmish, he would have been no more. Therefore, when Luo Feng employed the small cosmic domain, he also deliberately protected Moyu Qingyang. Of course, Moyu Qingyang did not witness the ensuing confrontation. Under the cover of the small cosmic domain, if Luo Feng didn't want him to see, he wouldn't be able to. Master, Moyu Qingyang ventured out of the small building and looked around before asking, Master, where is Lord Luosa? During this time, the master hadn't instructed him. But Lord Luosa often gave him guidance, and Moyu Qingyang was very grateful to Morosa. Now, not seeing Morosa, Moyu Qingyang worried. Had Lord Luosa been affected and died? Rest assured, he's in seclusion, Luo Feng said. The battle is over, don't think too much, and go on with your cultivation. After speaking, Luo Feng flew toward the pavilion atop the high mountain. Yes, master, Moyu Qingyang respectfully complied. He was indeed unsettled by the harrowing experiences of late. Asterisk 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 asterisk. Flame Wind Pavilion. The grey misty figure and the master of the Flame Wind Pavilion sat opposite each other, both guessing that with Luo Feng coming out of seclusion, the long-awaited Ying Cang would 9 times out of 10 make a move. There's a result. The figure in the grey mist looked at the message before him. Ying Cang actually died. He was famously known for his strong survival skills. Not only did the assassination attempt on Lord Luo he fail, but he also lost his life. Uncle, you sure Ying Cang is dead? The master of the Flame Wind Pavilion was somewhat surprised. Even with his unlimited godly body, he dared not claim he could completely kill Ying Cang. Defeating was easy, killing was hard. His karma has completely dissipated. Through the karmic messenger order, we could lock onto his position. When he died, he was in the cave mansion where Lord Luo he was. The figure in the grey mist said. This was also the reason why Luo Feng had always avoided using the karmic messenger order. Some powerful forces were able to use the karmic messenger order to lock onto positions. Without using the karmic messenger order, those major forces, even if they deduced some vague karmic ties of Luo Feng, could only determine whether the karma existed or not, but would find it difficult to lock onto his position. The karma has dissipated, and it's within Lord Luo his cave mansion. The master of the Flame Wind Pavilion nodded. This Lord Luo, he is unfathomable. Even he, a scion of Emperor Chu's lineage from the Flame Wind ancient country, possessing unlimited godly bodies and profoundly deep accumulations at the eternal true god tier, and cultivating the very top inheritances of the land of origin, felt wary of Luo Feng. This Lord Luo, he is either of very high realm or has an extremely formidable killer move. The figure in the grey mist also speculated. Luo Feng sat in a pavilion atop a high mountain, drinking alone. As he drank, he reflected on this exchange. The strength of the assassin, the strength of Morosa, it all proves one point, my weakness in the realm aspect. Luo Feng pondered. Godly body, will, and realm, these three aspects. His godly body was a perfect divine body, undeniably strong, which was his absolute advantage. That was why he was willing to use a lot of resources for body refinement, further increasing this advantage. Will, at the pinnacle of primal chaos dominator level. Luo Feng had never slacked off in that regard. He spent most of his time cultivating the heart-honing secret method within the Lai Yuan technique. As for the realm, it was relatively weak. The realm was the most important of the three aspects. To step into the primal chaos lord realm, to reach the godly king tier, one must attain a sufficiently high level in the realm. Once the recent trivial matters are resolved, I need to calm down and focus on comprehending the primal chaos laws, thought Luo Feng, but those 5 great families probably won't let things go easily. Having just experienced a great battle, Luo Feng was on high alert. He sensed a presence arriving outside of his cave mansion, and upon close inspection, he saw Moli Meng retracting the flying boat, landing in front of the mansion's gate. Brother Luo, I'm right outside the main entrance of your cave mansion, communicated Moli Meng politely. The main gate opened, and the formation revealed a passage. Moli Meng flew in and immediately noticed some geographical changes within the entire cave mansion. Some old buildings were gone, and a few new constructions had appeared. Whoosh! Moli Meng flew to the top of the high mountain and saw Luo Feng sitting there drinking. Brother Luo, Moli Meng said with a smile. I just went through a big battle and did some repairs on this cave mansion. Luo Feng sat on top of the mountain with a puzzled look towards Moli Meng. I just offended the 5 great families at the Dream Flower Tower, and upon returning to my mansion, I immediately faced an assassination. Was the assassin sent by your 5 great families? Why the assassin came and who the assassin was, Luo Feng still didn't know. No, it wasn't our 5 great families, Moli Meng replied anxiously. The city owner's mansion monitored that there was an ultra-strong energy fluctuation at Brother Luo his mansion. The intensity of the fluctuation was even stronger than when you killed the Blood Python leader. The 5 great families were also worried about misunderstandings, so they asked me to come explain. Explain? Luo Feng continued drinking, letting Moli Meng stand there. Then explain to me, how did the assassin come so quickly and with such prowess? If not sent by you, then who sent him? We of the 5 great families are very clear about your strength, Brother Luo. Within a short time, no one in Huyang City could have been hired to dare confront you, explained Moli Meng. Luo Feng listened. In my opinion, it could be one of your past enemies or maybe a message sent by the Blood Python leader before his death that attracted some strong outsider, Moli Meng suggested. In any case, it's unlikely anyone from Huyang City would make a move. Luo Feng looked at him. Is that all you've come to explain? Moli Meng chuckled. I trust Brother Luo, he has his own judgment. If there's nothing else, you may leave, Luo Feng urged, without a hint of politeness. The act of the 5 great families allowing Mewu Qi to massacre billions of civilians had made Luo Feng quite displeased with them. Brother Luo, my Moli clan has no intention of being your enemy, Moli Meng shook his head. My father, Moli Xiao, has long issued an order forbidding conflict with you, Brother Luo He. Luo Feng listened. But the other families are used to being high and mighty. Moly Meng shook his head. You directly publicly killed one of their members, and they simply cannot tolerate it. I do have a method. Brother Luo He, if you would condescend to become the vice commander of the Huyang Legion. In this way, you'd become one of the high-ranking members of Huyang City, as well as part of our 5 great families. You can get out now. Luo Feng's voice was cold. Moly Meng was taken aback, could only stand up to bow. Brother Luo He should understand, some of the 5 great families purely seek pleasure, some are here to get things done. Our Moly clan is one that works hard. We don't wish to be your enemy, but if you do not budge, I can tell you they will not let things rest. I know their temperament very well. Luo Feng smiled faintly, a coldness in his smile. Seeing that smile, Moly Meng felt a sudden chill, as if he glimpsed a river of blood. I will try my best to mediate the matter, and should there be any special circumstances, I will also communicate and notify Brother Luo He, Moly Meng said before turning to leave by himself. This episode ends here.